Good afternoon, sir. I'm Liza B. Lapad from B. Scream 4 Eco. Criminal Procedure Rule 1110 Prosecution of Offenses Section 1 Institution of Criminal Actions. This section state and offenses outside Metro Manila that has more than 6 years and 1 day. Punishment should require preliminary investigation, while if the offense's punishment is less than 6 years and 1 day, the complaint or information should directly filed with the municipal trial court or municipal circuit and office of the prosecutor. For offenses in Metro Manila and other chartered cities, the complaint or information should be the filed office of the prosecutor. In the section of 2 of Rule 1110 stated that the general requirements of complaint or information are first shall be in writing, second, in the name of the people of the Philippines, and third is against all persons who appear to be responsible for the offense involved. The section 3 of this rule define the complaint, which is a sworn written statement charging a person with an offense subscribed by the OPP of the offended party, peace officer or other public officer charged with the enforcement of the law violated and filed with the prosecutor's office. While Section 4 of the Rule 1110 defined information as an accusation in writing, charging a person of an offense subscribed by the prosecutor and filed with the court. According to Section 5 of Rule 1110, public prosecutor shall prosecute the criminal actions. That is the general rule, but it has exemption. Exemption where a private prosecutor can prosecute the criminal action when in case of the heavy work schedule of the public prosecutor, or in the event of lack of public prosecutor, but even though those circumstances are present, private prosecutor can prosecute the criminal actions unless he or she has a written authorization by the Chief Prosecution Office and should have the approval of the court. Rule 11 Prosecution of Civil Action. According to the Section 1 of this rule, when criminal actions as instituted, the civil liability shall be deemed instituted. That is the general rule, but there is an exemption. First, when the offended party waives the civil action. Second, the offended party reserves the right to institute it separately. Always remember that reservation shall be made before the prosecution starts presenting its evidences, and third, as institute the civil action prior to the criminal action, but always remember the primacy of criminal action over civil action, that even the civil action is instituted first than the criminal action. The civil action shall be suspended until final judgment is rendered in criminal action, that even the civil action is instituted first than the criminal action. The civil action shall be suspended until final judgment rendered in the criminal action. In exchange situation, when criminal action is instituted first than the civil action, still the civil action is suspended until final judgment is rendered to the criminal action. Next, Rule 112, the preliminary investigation. According to Section 1 of this rule, preliminary investigation is an inquiry or proceeding to determine whether there is a probable cause that the crime has been committed, and the preliminary investigation is required to be conducted before filing a complaint or information for an offense where the penalty prescribed by the law is at least 6 years and 1 day imprisonment. The officers allowed to conduct preliminary investigation are provincial or city prosecutors under assistance, national and regional state prosecutors and other officers as may be authorized by law, such as the COMELEC and Ombudsman. Rule 113 is arrest. Arrest is the taking of a person into custody in order that he may be bound to answer for the commission of an offense. An arrest made by an actual restraint of a person to be arrested, or by his submission to the custody of the person making the arrest. It shall be the duty of the officer executing the warrant to arrest the accused and to deliver him to the nearest police station or jail without unnecessary delay. The Rule 114 is bill. According to the Section 1 of this rule, bail is a security given for the release of a person and the custody of the law, furnished by a ombudsman to guarantee his appearance before any court. Bail may be given in a form of corporate, surety, property bond, cash deposit, or recognizance. According to the Section 2 of this rule, all persons having an offense can avail bail except those charged with offenses punishable by reclusion perpetua, death penalty, and life imprisonment. According to Section 4 of Rule 114, bail is matter of right when before and after conviction by the Municipal Trial Court, Metropolitan Trial Court, and Municipal Circuit Trial Court, and before conviction by the Regional Trial Court of an offense not punishable by LDR. While according to Section 5 of this rule, bail is a matter of discretion when upon conviction by the Regional Trial Court of an offense not punishable by LDR and also punishable by LDR if the evidence of guilt is not strong. Rule 115, the rights of the accused. The accused in criminal prosecutions have several rights, including the presumption of the innocence, 2. Right to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, 3. Right to be present and defend themselves, 4. Right to be waived their presence at the trial unless specifically ordered by the court, 5th. The accused can testify as a witness on their behalf, 6. They can confront and cross-examine witnesses against them. 7. A speedy, impartial, and public trial, and the accused can appeal in all cases allowed and in the manner prescribed by law. Rule 116, Arraignment and Plea. According to the paragraph A of Section 1 of this rule, the accused must be arraigned before the court where the complaint or information was filed or designed for trial. Arraignment shall be made in open court by the judge by giving the accused with a copy of the complaint and the information, reading it in the same dialect known by the accused and asking him whether he pleads guilty or not guilty, and the accused answer is the plea. Paragraph B stated that accused be present at the arraignment and must personally enter his plea. According to the paragraph C of Section 1 of this rule, if the accused refuses to plead, a plea of not guilty shall be entered for him. Then, in paragraph D, when the accused pleads guilty but present except culpatory evidence, his plea shall be then withdrawn and a plea of not guilty shall be entered for him. Rule 117 is motion to quash order is dismissal. In Section 1 of this rule, the accused may move to quash the information or complaint anytime before entering his plea. The motion to quash shall be in writing signed by the accused of his counsel and shall distinctly specify its factual and legal grounds. According to the Section 3 of this rule, there are only 9 grounds that the accused may move to the quash the complaint or information. First is that the facts charged do not constitute an offense. Second is that the court trying the case has no jurisdiction over the person of the accused, that the court trying the case has no jurisdiction over the person of the accused, that the officer who filed the information has no authority do so, that that is that not conform substantially duplicity of the offenses, that the criminal action or liability has been extinguished, that it contains averments which, if true, would constitute a legal excuse or justification, and last is double jeopardy. After entering the play, the accused can still file a motion to quash in grounds A, B, G, I, or grounds 1, 2, 7, and 9. Rule 118, Pre-trial. Rule 118, Pre-trial. According to the Section 1 of this rule, pre-trial is mandatory in criminal cases. It is conducted to avoid surprises during the pre-trial. Both parties will lay down evidences, witnesses, because failure to present that on pre-trial it could not be admitted during trial, unless otherwise the reason for that is good cause. And in case there is a objection, it will be raised, and that is the reason why there is a pre-trial. In pre-trial, there will be plea bargaining, stipulations of facts, marking for identification of evidence, waiver if objection to admissibility of evidence, and modification of the order of trial if the accused admits the charge. And Section 2 stipulated that all agreement or admission is made or entered during the pre-trial conference shall be reduced in writing and signed by the accused and the counsel, otherwise they cannot be used against the accused. The non-appearance of accused and counsel, the court may impose proper sanction or penalties. Rule 119, Trial. According to the Section 1 of this rule, the time to prepare, that is, after a plea of not guilty is entered, the accused shall be 15 days to prepare for trial, when the trial shall commence with 30 days from the receipt of the pre-trial order. On Section 3, the period of delay shall be excluded in computing the time within delay. Shall be excluded in computing the time within when delay resulting from other proceeding concerning the accused. Delay resulting from mental incompetence or physical inability of the accused to stand trial, and if the information is dismissed upon motion of the prosecution. In Section 11, the order trial, which first the prosecution shall present evidence to prove the charge, when the accused and the defense present rebuttal and surrebuttal evidence, then shall be them submitted for decision. Rule 120, Judgment. According to the Section 1 of this rule, judgment is the adjudication by the court that the accused is guilty or not guilty of the defense charge, and the imposition on him of the proper penalty and civil liability. Rule 121, the new trial or reconsideration. According to the Section 1 of this rule, the time for new trial or reconsideration is any time before a judgment. of conviction becomes final. On Section 2 is the grounds for a new trial. First is the errors of the law, and second is the new and material evidence has been discovered. Rule 122 is the appeal. According to the Section 1 of this rule, any party may appeal from a judgment or final order unless the accused will be placed in the double jeopardy. Section 2 is where to appeal when from first level court or MTC appeal on RTC, when from RTC appeal on Court of Appeals, and when from Court of the Appeals appeal PN Supreme Court. Rule 123 is the procedure in the municipal trial courts. Rule 124, the procedure in the courts of appeals. Rule 125, the procedure in the Supreme Court. Rule 126, the seize and the seizure. Section 1 defines the search warrant as an order in writing in the name of the people of the Philippines signed by the judge and directed to a peace officer, commanding him to the search of for personal property described therein and bring it before the court. The personal property to be seized according to the Section 3 are subject of the offense, embezzlement property, and use or intended to be used as the means of committing an offense. And Section 7. A search warrant shall not issue except upon probable cause and connection within one specific offense to be determined personally by the judge. It should be found in Section 4 of Rule 126. In Section 7, police officers must identify themselves and announce their purpose before using force to enter. Apply first the break and announce doctrine. The warrant must be served in the day unless the affidavit indicates the property is on the person or place, in which case it can be served at any time of the day or night found in Section 9.